what's up, guys? It's Gootecks. We are back with another player profile with Filipino Champ and Neo. Guys, we are going to be talking about EGPR Balrog, one of your NorCal FGTV brothers. And, we have a very interesting list that you guys have come up with. So we're going to start with attribute number 1, extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Can't stop this guy.
Eduardo is obviously such a world-class player. Amazing in multiple games. Everybody knows he got top 8 at Street Fighter 3 times at Evolution with Balrog.
Who does that?
Who does that? Like, it's totally amazing. He got top 8 in Injustice at Evo for playing the game for 2 weeks, and got second in Evo in Marvel 2, Marvel 3 Vanilla, and also he got second in Cross Tag with Ricky Ortiz. So, I can't, we could go all day talking about his accomplishment, but this guy's totally amazing. His style is very exciting to watch. But let's talk about his main attribute, extremely aggressive. When you talk about a pure Balrog, you just know this guy is extremely aggressive. He will put me in the situations when I'm about to panic, and he is going to punish me for it. It's just so unforgiving, and I love his style. The reason why me and Eduardo kind of like blend in like when we play, because I play the exact opposite the way he plays. And it's kind of like a clash of two styles, constantly trying to beat each other. It's just amazing. I love my brother, man.
And the thing is about his style, like he will come to you, and not in a completely reckless way. I mean, he is extremely aggressive, but he is not completely reckless or anything of the sort. He is aggressive in a way that he will put you in a situation where you are forced to, like he said, panic.
Mm-hmm.
So that starts what we call like a snowball effect. Like if you make a mistake because he's putting you in a situation that you don't like to be, you're probably gonna whiff a button. You're probably gonna he's gonna force you to call assist at a wrong time, and then that's when the snowball effect comes, and him being extremely aggressive he just steamrolls you.
He's constantly gonna try to be next to you, almost like really up close to you. And then, but obviously, you're not comfortable enough to be like neck to neck with with his play style in general. So once he's absolutely next to you, the human tendency reaction is like to defend yourself. Obviously, once he's up close to you, you're gonna try to grab him or press a button, but he knows that that you're gonna do that. So he will try to frame trap you or make you whiff something, and he will punish you for it. And there you go, game 1.
He will come to you in a range where you want to maybe grab him.
Very amazing.
And then he'll stay outside of that range slightly, and then he'll whiff punish your standing H with a dive kick. Mm-hmm. And then your character's dead, and then that's when the rushdown happens.
Yeah,
the snowball effect.
Yeah, that's when the snowball effect happens, and you lose your team, you lose your team dynamic, you lose all the synergy of your team because he will pick you apart. So
which takes us to number 2, overwhelming momentum.
There you go. His play style, he's the type of player that I feel like the more you panic, the more he actually benefits from it. Because since this has been his core play style, is to constantly put you in uncomfortable in the positions that you're not comfortable with. He already has a lot of data what a normal human, what a normal player would usually do. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, if I'm playing like a up-and-comer, most likely he would do this. Yes. All right? But if he's a little bit disciplined, he might do this. So he already has data on how to counter all sorts of, I would say defensive options that you would have in that once he puts you in those constant 50-50s.
Which again, and he doesn't necessarily fight defense with defense. He fights defense with offense. And the thing about the overwhelming momentum attribute is that if you kill their first character, most of the time, the great majority of the time, you're gonna have a mix-up on the incoming character. Most of the time, they have no choice but to either block or attempt to get out some way. And he's got very overwhelming mix-ups with the Wolverine, Virgil, very ambiguous to tell where he's gonna land. And if he gets the hit, you can kiss that character goodbye. So again, the snowball effect comes into play.
And he's not afraid to take a couple risks to actually put you in an uncomfortable spot.
Yeah.
Like which amazes me, you know, how he thinks towards how he thinks in a fighting game, you know.
Yeah.
It amazes me. I know that some people might think it's bad the way he plays, but dude, look at his results. Look at his resume. You know he's doing something right.
Yeah.
It's just his play style is different. It's like comparing John Choi to Alex Valle. You know, John Choi is very textbook. He's very timid. He will do textbook play style, right? He would do low for a fireball, just like very, very clean. Then you get Alex Valle, who would like play very dirty. He'll play out. He would think outside the box, right? But still does the same. But still gets the W's, right? The same as John Choi. It's the same thing with Pierre Balrog. Like he might not play the same as, you know, the typical textbook players who would try to play clean, but it doesn't matter how he plays because you know he's gonna get the W. He's gonna get the results. You know, he's been consistent throughout the years. So,
and the fact that he plays like that, you know, like for example, like outside the box, and in a way that he's overwhelming you, I think plays tribute to number 3 and number 4.
Yes,
as in that creates that type of game style, and the fact that he's willing to take those risks not only gives you a lot of clutch potential, but it also gives you nerves of steel. Because if you're willing to take those risks that are not, you know, per se reckless, but they're, you know, they do carry some sort of a valuable risk.
Yeah.
Then and you can execute that risk, then you have to be composed.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll give you a good example that I thought was a very, very in Evo when he fought Viscount. Obviously, he was at a great disadvantage when he was
9-1 matchup.
Yeah, when he was fighting Phoenix, a Dark Phoenix.
With Tron.
And here's the thing: the clock was ticking down. Obviously, it's in Phoenix's advantages, Dark Phoenix advantages. Viscount, you know, at that point, he's not going to take any unnecessary risks. He's about to, you know, win Evo. PR Balrog knows this. So if you look back at the video, Viscount is doing his best to try to stay away from Tron, and PR Balrog knows he's got one shot at this. And he doesn't panic, and he doesn't try to play conservative. He's either going to go all in and get the W, or he's going to lose. Because if he stays in a position where he is just in a gray area or neutral, or tries to fight her, it's not going to work. Phoenix has too many tools to keep Tron out. So in the video, Pierre Balrog's on the ground. He waits for Viscount to come down with Phoenix with the dive kick, and he does level 3. And the crowd goes nuts.
Yeah, dude.
Now, here's the thing. If he was wrong on the read, or if he was wrong in his positioning, predicting where Viscount was going to be, and the level 3 whiffs, it's over.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Basically, out of that odds of him landing a level 3 on a Dark Phoenix, also in, like, the clock is ticking down, he had, like, one chance.
Yeah.
That's 1 out of 100, dude, to actually land a hit on Phoenix. Yeah. And the fact that he landed that on clutch time at Evo to reset the bracket, that's absolutely amazing.
And if you look at the video, here's one of the things that I noticed. When he lands the level 3, everybody goes nuts. And there's actually like a little compilation video that shows when Viscount gets hit by that. It wasn't, because he still has Hagar. But when he gets hit by that, he jumps out of his seat. You know, he's shaking. You look at Pierre Balrog's face; he's just like concentrated at the screen.
He's gonna win.
Yeah, he knew
he's a winner.
That he was gonna grab her. But again, that is
just one example of like
nerves of steel and clutch.
Yeah. Like I feel like since his very aggressive, his overwhelming momentum, and gives him enough practice to actually practice his overall clutch, because the fact that you will constantly be in that situation, right? That he has to hit you, or else he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like make a constant read, that gives him practice continuously for tournaments. That's why, you know, he's just an amazing tournament player. And obviously the number 5 is, you know, when he's very unpredictable.
Yeah, his patterns are not you know, he's not the type of player that you watch and you say, okay, now he's gonna run away and he's gonna wait for this situation.
You just don't know.
Yeah, he of course he's not just 100% always all the time gonna rush you down and all in.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when he does rush you down, it's again overwhelming momentum. It's just overly aggressive. It's when is that time gonna come?
Like sometimes he actually kill my point character, then my second character comes in, and you know I have 2 bars, whatever. I have 2 bars, but then he has 3 characters with like 4 bars and an X factor, and he doesn't have to do this, but he would do like ABC with Wolverine, they call assist, then Berserker slash, and then I block. Then I blocked it, you know. For some reason, I blocked it. Yeah. Then he does speed up. Then he gets one more mix up with the high low. But he goes low. I blocked it. Then he does jump light, then X Factor. Then I get open up. See, like, that risk is like, you're winning. He's winning already. He has the matchup was already 7-3 in his favor. I'm already blocking. But the fact that he has the nerves of steel to actually still basically use his X Factor, use all of his resources to basically try to steamroll me, kill my second character. So my third character the third character would be a Phoenix or whatever character, would not have enough meter. The fact that he could actually take that risk with no, like, with not having, like, I would say, like, with not being scared.
Oh yeah. Because
it's just amazing. Like, I can't really, like, grasp his thought process. Like, I feel like it's so unique, and I feel like very few people in this world could actually have that type of play style.
Yeah, like, I feel like, for example, that situation you just described, you know, his initial attack was potentially hitting you, but then you blocked it. Then he did Berserker Slash, and then you blocked into Speed Up, and then you blocked that. Then, because you're still in block stun from the Berserker Slash into Speed Up, he still gets one more mix-up. So if you look at the math, he's actually put himself in a situation where he attacks you 3 times.
Yeah.
So he is confident, or he is ambitious, that one of those 3 times you're gonna fold, which most of the time most players will. You know, especially with a character that's so fast like Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's very hard to block everything, and that's the thing. He's the type of player that wants to make you block, because if you're blocking, then guess what? You're not hitting him.
Yeah.
You know, you're in a position where you're just defensive, and in the game like this, the more you block, the more likely you're going to get hit eventually.
In Marvel 3, guys, pro tip, okay? Blocking, you do not want to block. If your blocking is like your last option.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like, it's not like blocking or press buttons, okay? That's not the 50-50. It's like blocking or evading. So I prefer just evading, you know, practice your movement, trying to move around better, so you would not be put in those 50-50 situations. I've talked about it extensively in Fighting Game Mastery about it, so please do check it out, okay? Check that out.
So, I mean, do you think that one of the ways that he's developed his clutch is just by putting himself out there and taking these risks over and over with basically every game that he plays?
The way he takes risks is not in a negative way. It's definitely is in a unique way that, you know, not a lot of people could grasp. But I feel like he's definitely practiced it throughout the years. Like, you know, I think I don't know if you've seen it, but in Evo 2009, when he had to fight Alex Valle, Pierre Balrog, you know, on the big stage, Eduardo was called. His name was VVV Scrub. That was his name at Evo, and he was playing Balrog, but no one knew that you could play Balrog like that, so aggressive, right? And, you know, this is his first time in the stage, and he's obviously a rookie, right? And he's fighting Alex Valle in the big stage at Evo, but he didn't care. He rushed Valle down, opened him up, and beat him so bad.
Ironically, rushing down. Rush that S down.
Yeah. And that's when you know, like, he's not intimidated who he's fighting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to have that heart, you know, that just to have that heart, like, yo, I don't care who you are, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna play my game. I'm gonna impose my will. This is me. This is how I play. I'm Pierre Balrog. This is how I play. I'm not gonna change my gameplay just because you're Alex Valle. You know, it's just something like that. That meta is just amazing. You know, just to look at that. You know, and that's his early years in his competitive, right? In his competitive career. That's his early years.
The thing about his style too, that adds to him being a scary player is that, for example, if you are you go to a tournament and then you see your name and then you see Pierre Balrog's name, like if he's in your pools and you're gonna play him or whatnot, then you like become very aware and worried. Oh man, I'm gonna have to play, you know, somebody that's constantly gonna be in my face. That's gonna make me, oh, here we go, you know, like that type of thing.
Yeah, it makes you worry playing someone with that style because it's very unique. You can never prepare for something like Eduardo. That's why he does so well internationally, multiple games, playing different games for, you know, different types of games. He does so well because you can never prepare to that type of style because there's very few people in the world who actually could play like how he does. Yeah.
How do you guys think that a player can go about developing nerves of steel for themselves?
I feel like they should constantly put themselves out there and try out, you know, give it a shot, you know, go to your weeklies, try out different types of play style, different approach. Check it out. What works for you the best? Do you feel like you would be more successful at being more textbook, being more safe, or do you feel like that you have good reads, or have that nerves of steel like Eduardo? You don't know that until you constantly put yourself out there. So I feel like go out, support your scene, play your weeklies. Mm-hmm. Then after you get a couple of success, after a couple of try run, then go to a major, try it out.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? The thing is, like, depending on how a person plays, sometimes you can apply that same, their style of gameplay to their attitude or how they approach like situations in life.
Oh yeah.
If you're a person, for example, that is extremely aggressive, odds are you're gonna be a fast driver, like, that type of thing, or like, if you go to the roulette, you're not gonna put 10 on black. You're probably gonna put 100 on black. Like that type of thing. It's actually very interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
If you're a safe player, then you instead of placing 10 on black, you place 2 quadrants. Yeah. You get that 66% ratio on your side.
Yeah, Neo, you know a little bit about nerves of steel yourself.
Absolutely.
You were somebody that's played, quite a number of high stakes Marvel 2 money matches.
Yeah.
What, when you were going into a match that was going to be like multiple thousands of dollars on the line against established Marvel 2 top players,
sure,
did you have any sort of, strategies or mental preparation tactics?
For me personally, most of these matches were actually very elaborate, the way they were structured, the way they came about. We would know about 3 weeks to a month in advance you were going to play, and I personally did not take any of them like lightly. I'm a big boxing fan. I would see it as a big boxing match where I had an opponent in front of me, and it was my job to decipher their style. It was my job to decipher what were their tendencies and what they would do in certain situations. That's the technical aspect, like how can I prepare for this person the best that I can, given my characters, given my strategy, given my style versus their style. That's a technical aspect. But the nerves of steel is something that comes along with as you're playing the match. I think most people know about Neo versus Clockwork. At one point, I was down 8-4 in a very hostile territory. I brought about 10 to 15 friends with me. He brought a city. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as I was down 8-4, it's the first to 15, set for stupid money. I've said this before. I hear the crowd, and I finally think I'm getting over them. I'm relating to them. They're seeing that I'm doing my best, and I'm struggling. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, they're chanting Neo. That's really cool. Well, they weren't. They were chanting Frio. So at that point, you have to make a decision. Are you going to let the situation overwhelm you, and essentially just bring you to your destruction, where you're just going to be helpless and just give up? Or are you going to fight back? And kind of like what Ryan was saying earlier about Eduardo, are you going to fight back, give it your best? And if anything, you should actually be more motivated to try to win. It was difficult, but that takes practice from going to weeklies, from, like he said, from
you want to travel, you want to invest on something that you feel like you love,
And by the way, that's actually this is kind of like sort of like it goes into a deeper conversation, but a lot of people that I've talked to, a lot of friends, right, that are not necessarily involved in the fighting game community, but for example, did watch the match or did send me texts like, hey, we don't know exactly what's going on with this, but good luck. We hope you win. I talked to them about the pressure, and about how does it feel when you're up there and your heart's beating at 1,000 beats per second. And a lot of them are like, why would you put yourself in such a stressful situation? Yeah, you won the match.
That rush.
Yeah, you won the match and, like history or whatever, but realistically, you probably lost like 2 or 3 years of your life doing that. And to me, that's actually like when you're living life, when you're in those situations where it's do or die, when, you are going to have a story for the rest of your life.
I love doing that.
Yeah, whether it's at Evo or whether it's in a high stakes match. Because, yeah, obviously you're not like in the most comfortable position when you're doing it.
I always want to test myself.
But yeah, one, you're challenging yourself, and 2, it's a story forever. Like it's crazy. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, that wraps up our player profile for PR Balrog. You can check out some of Neo's fine fighting game apparel at ykwis.net. You know what I'm saying, .net, the Underground Syndicate. Check out Filipino Champ on twitch.tv/FGTV Live. Follow both these guys at GoldenBoy Neo and FChamp Ryan. You can also check out our new project called Fighting Game Mastery at fightinggamemastery.com. All kinds of great info, strategies, and tips like this. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.